Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what Secret Wars books to buy, because that's what we've been focusing on so far, mostly today. And today we're talking about Civil War, issue number 1. That's right. This is a highly anticipated book for a lot of Marvel fans, including myself. And this book is written by Charles Soule, and the artwork is done by Linnell Francis Yu. When you open up this book, it's got okay artwork, but it is not my favorite style of artwork. I find that the artwork is a little bit sketchy for me at times, and it lacks facial expression detail, which I'm so keen on. So it captures me and brings me into the story. At times in this issue, I can't always make out the characters the way I want to, and I feel that there's lack of detail when there's action scenes happening. Can't make out this where if you look at it here, I wasn't sure who this was at first, but it winds up being Cloak in the issue as well. Again, I feel that we could get a little bit more facial expression when it's really needed in here, and I guess it leaves the reader a little bit more of an imagination type. Again, I wasn't a fan of the coloring either, and certain characters I really couldn't make out who they were unless I saw a symbol or whatnot, because this was Captain Marvel on here. And in this issue here, we also get to see, let me find out if I can figure it out. This person here. Who is that? Maybe you can make it out. It's Steve Rogers. Who's that? Well, that's Tony Stark with gray hair because time has passed. Who's that guy back there? That's Peter Parker. So you can kind of get my point in this issue. Here, you would think maybe that was Pepper Potts. Wrong, because as you go through the issue, it's Jen Walters. So a lot of things are, it's hard to tell which characters are who when you're kind of reading this issue. In this book, you find out what has happened with Civil War, and time has passed. And what goes on is that Iron Man and Steve Rogers are pretty much still at a war with each other. They have to come to an agreement for this war to actually end. And as the issue progresses, you find out how they're divided. One is called the Iron, the other is called the Blue. Obviously, you can figure out whose side is what. And every so often, they come together to do talks to try to end this war. There's a mediator that's involved in the whole talk in here. Peter is obviously sided with Captain America, and for the first time in 6 years, he sees Mary Jane and Annie here. And he gets to spend time with a little bit of his family here. And as Iron Man, or as Tony and Steve are talking, as the talks progress, we kind of see that they don't get very far in their talks. And what happens in this issue is you find out that the mediator here winds up getting shot, which her name is Miriam. And she gets shot and she winds up getting killed. After that happens, we found out that Peter right away is called to duty after a few minutes with Mary Jane. And again, you find out that he hasn't seen her in 6 years, which was insane. And he goes and he becomes like Sam Wilson, flying in some Falcon costume, which I have really no idea why, which kind of bugged me. And we find out that it was a long-range sniper rifle that wound up shooting Miriam here. And they were trying to figure out who did it. And pretty much that's the end of this issue. So what did I think of Civil War, issue number 1? For me, I thought this was a little lackluster. This definitely did not meet my expectations, especially as Civil War being such a major and iconic event for Marvel. And I thought the artwork was, again, not my taste. I thought the story was slow and too political for me. I didn't need all the details of the past Civil War and now a political discussion on if this war was going to end in this very first issue. Maybe this sets things up for them to come to a close with Civil War or where the story's actually going. I'm not really sure. It just kind of leaves me with a lot of questions, which is okay. But it just this issue really didn't blow my mind. The character interactions here again was just not memorable for me. Why is Peter Parker the way he is? I just maybe I missed it, but I didn't capture why he's not in a Spider-Man costume. So things like that kind of bothered me. I expected more action in this first issue, and I don't know. We'll see where it goes. It wasn't a horrible read. I just wanted something more out of this, and Miriam being shot with a long-range sniper really didn't blow it out of the park for me. So, how do you guys feel about this? Do you agree with me on the artwork? Do you agree with me on the story here? Um, so leave me your comments below. And after reading this one, I'm only going to give this one a 3 out of 5 stars. So far, out of all the books I read this week, and it's only 4 at this point, this is my least favorite. And for it to be 3 stars, it might fall really low on the countdown this week. So kind of disappointed with Civil War #1. Hopefully issue #2 will be better. So fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until that next comic book review, fans, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. And I'll see you guys real soon. Thanks for watching.